Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder is on track to sell the team for $6 billion, according to the New York Times. The group who's said to be buying the team is led by Josh Harris, who owns the NBA's Philadelphia 76ers and the NHL's New Jersey Devils. Yahoo Finance's Josh Schafer here to tell us about this record-setting NFL deal. Makes the Broncos look like a bargain at this point, man.
It definitely does, David. So this is a developing story right now today. So Sportico first reporting this earlier this afternoon. Now the New York Times also reporting that Josh Harris has agreed in principle with his group to purchase the Washington Commanders for $6 billion. Now I should note ESPN's Adam Schefter tweeting out just moments ago that this is not a done deal. He has the deal at $6.05 billion and says that Steve Apostolopoulos is still involved in the process as well. So there is still a little bit up in the air here, but it does seem like Harris, who already owns the Sixers, who already owns the Devils, the co-founder of Apollo Global Management, the parent company of Yahoo, is going to be the buyer. And I think one of the bigger takeaways here, Rochelle, is the buyer isn't Jeff Bezos. Not that there was necessarily always an understanding that Bezos would be the buyer of the Commanders, but plenty of speculation for Amazon becoming further tied to the NFL here and Bezos buying his hometown team. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. And I think that's one of the bigger takeaways for me is not seeing, that Amazon NFL tie get tighter.
I mean, we did see a lot of DC fans wondering, if we would see Bezos perhaps in the stands at some point. A lot of excitement here. Looking at the price tag, I mean, I've seen this sort of attendance here. Some of it is, your diehard fans. Some of it is for a flex. This is how DC is. What's your take on the price tag and what this perhaps means for the next deals when you do have a bar that high at this point?
Yeah, everyone we've talked to over the last couple months when we talked about sales as a whole have said these sports valuations are not a bubble, right? That you're going to keep getting revenue and keep gaining money back, and really it's worth it. I mean, you look at Snyder bought this franchise in the 90s for about $750 million. He's now selling it for $6 billion. Again, that's $1.5 billion more, Dave, than what the Broncos were sold for last year. I think that might be the most eye-popping part of this is, were the Broncos cheap? People said at the time the Broncos could have been cheap. That was an opinion that was out there. This might be proving that in some ways.
Well, the early buzz is that the Waltons overpaid that number for the Broncos, but it quickly turned to, oh my goodness, they actually got a deal. And yeah, it does look that way. And it's interesting with Dan Snyder, circled by scandal for the last, really 10 years, gets 8x his money, to your point, since 1999. What an incredible turn for him. And you just can't wonder, when we'll hit that $10 billion NFL mark. It must be a matter of when, not if.
Jerry Jones told us last fall he wouldn't sell the Cowboys for $10 billion. So it won't be the Cowboys, but hopefully it is someone.
Now, not approved until the NFL meetings the 22nd of May, I believe. Right. Josh Harris is a slam dunk. I can't necessarily say that about Apostolopoulos if he gets in. Josh Harris, unanimous approval from what I understand.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much.